And the one thing that all psychedelics have in common is the dissolving of the ego. They all dissolve the ego. What's that word? Dissolution? Yeah. Dissolution of the ego. That what's happening with all of them is it removes all this nonsense narrative in your head. Everyone's ego has this nonsense view of the world that's based on them being the most important thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that, you know, all the shit that they're thinking about right now is of the utmost importance, needs to be done right now. That's why people run red lights. Like, you can't even wait. You can't even wait, you fuck. It's one thing if it's a medical emergency, kids being born, someone's got a broken leg, and you got to get to the hospital right away. I get it. I 100% get it. But there's some people that just want to make that left turn. They don't give a fuck if the light changed. They want to cut in front of you, make that turn, even block traffic, because they think more about themselves than they do about other people. And that's a side effect of this life that's been set up. But it's almost like maybe that's how it works. Maybe the life creates challenges when there are no challenges, and the challenges are, it just tries to diminish you, tries to see if you're paying attention, tries to weaken you and make you stupid and turns you into a fucking zombie. If you walked into any restaurant during lunchtime and you see people on their phones, it's like, this is bonkers. If this was anything else, that where half the room was using an electronic and staring into it for long moments at a time, not interacting with the person across from them, like that becomes almost the norm. That like at least 50% of the people, and everyone's interrupting everybody, like, you know, they're all just barely paying attention to each other.
Well, they haven't developed the muscle. I mean, it's a muscle. It's people just assume that the ability to have a conversation is a natural part of being an adult, but it's like I think that's atrophying in a lot of people, to the point now where I just try to be, you know, I just have lowered my expectations to the point of like, I don't know how many people can pay attention that much. And I know I'm certainly distracted, but doesn't it feel fucking weird? Even if you're just watching TV with somebody and they pull their phone out and start looking at it.
Oh, it's so weird.
It's like the energy immediately downshifts the moment that it's...
Like if you're watching a movie with someone and they're over there on their phone, like, come on. Watch the goddamn movie with me.
Even though we're not talking doesn't mean we're not connecting.
It's weird. It's weird. Even fights. If you watch fights with your friends, they're on their phone all the time. It's like, are you not even watching these fights?
You can feel it.
That's
why, you know, at the Denver Comedy Works, they've got the Dave Chappelle.
Yonder Bags?
So, like, I was listening. Do you ever listen to an audience that doesn't have access to their phones before a show?
They're so mad.
They want, motherfucker, where's my phone?
They talk to each other.
It's like the sound is better. It's a better sound out there. It's a different murmur than a phone murmur from a crowd. So I don't know, man. I think
life presents all sorts of adversity, and some adversity doesn't feel like adversity. It's sneaky, and that's what cell phones are. That's what technology is, and that's certainly what social media is. You only realize what social media truly can do when it comes at you. You know, you get canceled, or there's a bunch of people who are tweeting mean stuff to you. Then you realize, like, oh, these are horrible feelings. This feeling of being attacked by this thing that's been grooming me. It's like, what is that? Like, well, if the Earth was trying to get rid of us, if the Earth had decided that there's an infection that doesn't think it's an infection, it thinks it's so important that it should be allowed to pollute everything around it, should be allowed to scab up the Earth with giant concrete bandages. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're putting these things everywhere that cover up all the ground, displace all the life, and then we shut off the lights so we can't recognize that we're in space. I mean, the whole recipe is perfect. It's perfect for charming us to sleep. Every aspect of it, the ego part, the fact that it exists, the fact that we have this biological imperative to stay alive and breed, and then keep our DNA alive, and there's all these things that are set into you to make sure that happens, all the while where you recognize you definitely are a finite life form.